So how do we even navigate a world where information feels like it's constantly shifting? What can we actually trust when everything seems, well, uncertain?
It's a huge question. And today we're diving into a really interesting, maybe provocative take on this from Clif High.
Right, this is from excerpts of his YouTube video, Don't Doubt the Woo, Clif High Explorer's Guide to Sci-Fi World.
Exactly. And our goal here is really to unpack his specific concept of doubt. It's quite unique.
And how he connects that idea to these, frankly, huge predictions about society, politics, the economy, even down to the personal level.
Yeah, what's really key is how he frames doubt. It's not just a feeling for him, it's an active force, almost a tool.
He calls it doubt woo, right?
That's the term, yeah, doubt woo. And he says it's a period where, and this is his quote, normies start running into doubt on everything.
Normies, meaning
Yeah.
regular folks, average people.
Yeah, that's his term for, people not necessarily deep into alternative information streams.
Okay. And he has this really striking image for it, doesn't he? This initial analogy.
He does. He talks about doubt being like a little worm that creeps in.
By like actual wood-boring worms, he mentions those, and torpedoing worms, the kind that used to sink ships.
Precisely. The idea is something insidious, burrowing away unseen, causing the whole structure, whether it's a ship or, a belief system, to just collapse. It's a powerful image.
It really is. So if it's this destructive, how does he see it as a tool?
Well, he calls doubt a very effective tool. He thinks it can be used deliberately to cause situations that favor your general circumstances if you use it appropriately.
So weaponized doubt, almost?
You could frame it that way based on his description. It's not passive. It's something you actively employ.
And he says he's doing this himself with these newsletters.
Right. The Voxuli legislator be advised newsletters. It sounds like targeted information drops.
Aimed at, who did he say? Inculcated people.
Yes, people deeply embedded in certain ways of thinking, and specifically legislative assistants. His stated goal is to sow doubt, make them question what they know, question their bosses, their role models, who he claims don't know anything.
Huh. That feels like it connects to accountability, then.
It does. He argues this doubt makes these assistants realize their actions have consequences. They need to see the bigger picture, not just,
The I just followed orders thing.
Exactly. He explicitly calls that out. It's about forcing a kind of ethical reckoning, maybe.
Okay, so doubt as this powerful, almost corrosive tool, how does he see it impacting bigger structures, society, politics?
He believes the whole paradigm is subsumed, like the old ways are just being swallowed up.
And he points fingers specifically.
Yeah. He says mainstream media is collapsing. He claims the Democratic Party, captured by the CCP and these woke progressives, and it's collapsing. It's a view of widespread institutional failure.
That's a strong claim. Does he give examples of where he sees this doubt already taking root?
He does. He mentions the Whoopi Goldberg thing.
Yeah.
According to him, that incident forced the ADL to rewrite the definition for racism.
And the significance of that, in his view.
He claims it creates doubt for CRT people,
Yeah.
critical race theory proponents, because, as he puts it, the ADL promoted CRT, and now this rewritten definition is being used as a weapon against them. It's about internal contradictions causing doubt.
Okay. Any other examples?
He also talks about legislators getting edgy. That's his word.
Holy cow.
Because this worm of doubt is eating away at their understanding. They're questioning things they took for granted, like maybe their job isn't just an intern job.
But something with real weight, like potentially being at war and needing to know the law of war manual.
Exactly. A fundamental shift in how they see their role and its implications.
So if institutions are collapsing and individuals are doubting, where does the power lie, according to him?
Well, he's very clear. All power comes from the people. That's his assertion.
And leaders, like Trudeau, he mentioned.
He refers to figures like Trudeau as grand poos, who are now, he claims, out hiding or fleeing. Because the times have changed, he says. They can't rely on the old model, the one he claims was sold to them by the CCP bribes. Again, very pointed claims.
Okay, this seems to lead into another concept he mentioned, the overwoo. What's that about?
Right, the overwoo. That's his term for when an old narrative just collapses rapidly into unknowing and lies.
Leaving people adrift.
Yeah, leaving the normies, as he calls them, awash in a sea of doubt. Just floaty bits of information left.
That sounds chaotic.
And he takes it further. He suggests, quite dramatically, that Many of them are going to go quite factually and actually insane in this process.
Insane.
That's his prediction,
Yeah.
that they'll need to become, quote, insane to an unwarped world to cope with the collapse of their reality. It's a very stark outlook.
Definitely. Okay, so massive social, political, psychological shifts. What about the economy? Does this doubt woo hit there too?
Oh, absolutely. He sees huge economic consequences. He predicts currency collapse is going to spread.
More collapses, plural.
Yes. And he mentions planning another Voxuli message for legislators, specifically about crashing conditions relative to the money.
He seems to have a timeline in mind for this too.
He does. He talks about a doubt curve. Says it's exponential, rising sharply around May.
An exponential rise in doubt, coinciding with what?
With a big emotional bump, as he puts it, related to the whole global monetary system.
Like the petrodollar, central banks.
Exactly. The petrodollar system, the central banking system itself. He thinks it's all going to take a big hit around then.
And what would that mean practically? For governments, for people?
Well, for legislators, he paints this picture where they'll suddenly have huge budget numbers, like 99 trillion, but it won't buy anything.
Like Zimbabwe dollars, worthless.
That's the comparison he makes. Massive inflation, essentially. He points to Lebanon as a current example, saying the Lebanese currency has collapsed.
Right. I remember hearing about their government wanting to use foreign reserves to buy up their own currency.
Yes. But Clif High has a very different suggestion for them.
Oh.
What's that?
He proposes something he calls bold. Take all those foreign exchange reserves and buy Bitcoin or even Ethereum.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Use national reserves to buy crypto.
That's his suggestion. He claims it would achieve several things. Shatter central bank cohesion against crypto, massively boost crypto prices, and basically crash everything open. It's definitely unconventional.
Crash everything open.
Yeah.
It's quite a phrase. Are there other triggers he sees for this economic intensity he predicts by May?
Yeah, he throws out a few possibilities. Maybe a group of U.S. midterm candidates pushing to audit the Fed and create gold-backed treasury notes.
Okay.
Or he suggests maybe China revaluing gold massively. Either could be a catalyst, in his view.
There's a lot of interconnected predictions,
Yeah.
and it seems to spiral down even to the individual level, right? Hormones?
It does. This is another core part of his framework. He makes this sweeping claim. All action from all humans is entirely done through hormones.
All action. That's a big statement.
It is. And he directly links hormonal imbalance to an inability to make decisions. So if your hormones are off, you can't decide things properly. How does he suggest people manage this, especially during this doubt woo?
He gets very specific with dietary advice for promoting what he calls effective hormones.
Okay, like what?
First, a strong prohibition. Not ever, ever, ever eat any seed oil. He lists canola, even olive oil there.
No seed oils at all. And second,
Eat fat. Eat as much fat as you want, he says. Things like bacon fat, beef tallow.
why those fats?
Because, according to his theory, the body uses those fats to produce cholesterol.
And cholesterol is important because...
Brains, 25% of all the cholesterol your body produces will go to your brain. He also notes statins reduce this.
Okay, brain function. Anything else?
Yes, the vitamin D connection. Cholesterol in your skin, he explains, gets hit by UVB sunlight and produces vitamin D.
Right. And vitamin D is important for...
He calls it a prohormone, involved in thousands of functions, 3,000 functions, he says, many related to hormone balance via a weird chain.
A weird chain. What's the key part of that chain?
He talks about a primary switch. It determines whether your body produces cortisol, the stress hormone, or other necessary hormones.
And we don't want to be stuck in cortisol production all the time.
Exactly. He says long-term stress states, like battle shock or PTSD, are unhealthy. And here's the link back to diet.
Let me guess. Seed oils.
You got it. He claims seed oils interrupt your ability to have this primary switch operate at an optimal level, causes inflammation.
And he thinks this was deliberate.
He does. He asserts it was deliberately done to weaken us, starting way back in the 1920s, involving an infiltration of the Seventh-day Adventist. That's a specific and controversial claim.
Wow. Okay, so tying it all together, the normies are making bad decisions because...
Because in his view, they're flooded with seed oils, their hormones are all fucked up. That's his blunt assessment. Diet is directly impacting their ability to navigate this confusing world.
Which brings us to navigating this. What did he call it? Sci-fi world.
Yeah, sci-fi world. His definition is pretty straightforward. A state where there's just so much shit happening everywhere that you can't pay attention to anything but a small fraction of it. Information overload, basically.
So how do you cope in that kind of environment, according to him?
His big piece of advice seems to be trust your own eyes, your own observation.
Over authority.
Yes, he's quite critical of what he sees as an ultimate reliance on authority in science, demanding the peer-reviewed, double-blind study for everything.
He thinks that makes people poor observers.
He argues that kids out of school don't believe anything they see without that stamp of approval, which makes them poor observational scientists. So yeah, prioritize direct observation.
Are there other current events he points to as feeding this constant doubt the sci-fi world feel?
He mentions a few more things. True social, potentially causing economic issues related to elections and war.
War again.
Yes, he predicts war will become more openly discussed around May, June, July, specifically involving the CCP.
Okay. Anything else?
He notes Russia restricting sales of ammonium nitrate that's fertilizer, but also an explosive component, and the Canadian trucker strike. He suggests it creates doubt about whether or not we have Canada or if it's become Truckistan. His term, obviously controversial.
So all these things are just adding layers of doubt and uncertainty for people.
That's the idea. And he thinks this period for the normies will extend for the normies all this year and into next.
Because it takes time for information to sink in.
Right, slow adoption. So he encourages people who are aware to be patient, basically.
Yeah.
To be aiding them as much as you can as they learn to become more observant.
It's quite a journey he's outlining. So stepping back from all these details, what's the big takeaway for you from this deep dive into his perspective?
Well, we've definitely traced how he sees doubt, not as just, a simple feeling, but as this incredibly powerful active force, something reshaping finance, politics, health, everything.
Right. And that recurring theme, observe for yourself. Don't just rely on what authorities tell you. That seems central to his whole message.
It really does. And he has that quote near the end, doesn't he? About confrontation.
Yeah. The aware mind will note that the instance of that confrontation is to teach something, to reveal something to yourself in your own choices and actions that will further illuminate our common shared reality for your awareness and understanding.
So confronting doubt isn't just negative. It's a learning opportunity, a way to see things more clearly, according to him.
Which leads to a final thought maybe for you listening. Given this idea that confronting doubt can reveal deeper truths, what new observations might you start making about the world, about your own choices, now that you've considered this, let's say, unconventional perspective on doubt's power?